Five Nights at Freddy's, the #1 mascot horror game of all time. And now with a movie that's made around $300 million at the box office, I think now is a good time to talk about my experience with FNAF. FNAF is awesome, I think we all know that. As a kid, I almost always loved the games. They were so fun and cool. I remember I used to watch all those How to Draw Freddy Fazbear and other character videos and draw them in tons of sketchbooks. If you were listening like 3 seconds ago, you know I said I almost always loved the games. Let me explain why it wasn't always. So my first experience with FNAF was when I was at church. I know, not a very fitting place. So me and one of my friends from that church were there for our parents' band practice, and it was late enough for it to be dark outside. My friend and I hid under this like cardboard cutout thing of a rock or something and got on my tablet. We went on the App Store because we wanted to play some different games than the ones I already had. This was around the time FNAF 3 or 4 was the last game in the series, and it had been exploding in popularity. So of course, FNAF 2 was the first game we saw on the App Store. My friend said, "Oh dude, have you seen this game? It's so cool." "Yeah, I've seen it in the App Store, but I've never played it." "Oh cool, let's play it." And so we did. We downloaded the game and got on, and because I had no idea how to play or what the game was about other than the animatronics are coming to kill me, I thought that the security cameras were the main menu. "Bro, what are you doing? It's the first night, just keep the mask on." "No, they can't get me on the main menu, I'm keeping on the main menu." I obviously got jump scared by Toy Bonnie and was horrified. Later that night I was brushing my teeth and told my dad about the whole thing. "Dad, I'm scared. I was playing a game with my friend at church and I got scared by a bunny and it was on screen for like 5 minutes. Go to bed. He didn't care, he probably just thought I was getting scared at something dumb, which I was. But at the time, I was terrified. And that night is what led me down the rabbit hole of Five Nights at Freddy's. As a kid, instead of watching actual FNAF videos, I would watch the weird SFM animations and the songs. I cared about the game a little bit. I did watch almost every Markiplier FNAF video.
Okay, so the first night is never usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play through.
But I just wasn't as interested in the actual game compared to whatever this is. FNAF is also the reason for my first swear word, but that's a story for another video. So the next thing I want to talk about is the animations. Everyone my age knows that feeling of boredom when there's nothing to do, so you get on YouTube and watch all the FNAF Gmod and SFM animations you can find. And yes, that does include other animations, but we're gonna ignore those and talk about the exact opposite of them, the fan-made jump scare animations. These animations were usually just compilations of gory and more realistic jump scares from FNAF. While there was jump scares from all the actual games, there was also jump scares for characters like Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, who never had official jump scares, except for Fredbear, I forgot about him. When I say more realistic, I basically just mean longer jump scares. They made it so the animatronics would do stuff like punch the night guard or something like that and then bite them, so really it just was a time waster. Now there was also animations for everyone's favorite part of fan-made FNAF content, which would be the songs. The songs, while maybe not actually everyone's favorite part of fan content, are my favorite part of fan content. I love music. I also make music. I started out making crappy Friday Night Funkin' songs. Now I'm writing and composing actual full songs. Seeing how I love making and listening to music, you could probably guess that I love FNAF songs. If you're wondering what song is my favorite, it's a tie between They'll Find You and 5 Long Nights. I even made my own playlist on SoundCloud, yes I know I'm a loser, with all my favorite FNAF songs in a slight order from best to good. I would say worst, but it's my favorite FNAF songs. So there's no worst, they're all just good at least. Also the animated music videos. I just want to talk about how good most of these are. They are so cool. Obviously nothing is perfect, so you will find some stinkers in the pile, but most of the videos that accompany the songs are so good. Continuing our FNAF fan content discussion, I'm sure when I say FNAF fan content, the first thing that comes to everyone's mind is the fan games. You can't talk about fan-made FNAF stuff without mentioning the fan games. There are so many good games, and even more awful ones. I just want to talk about one specific fan game for a second, because I genuinely think it's one of the best fan games of all time. This game has been labeled as underrated in the past, and if you've watched Yeah, you've probably heard of it. The game in question is Tyke & Sons Lumber Co. I don't want to talk about it for too long because I'm sure if you watched Yeah's video, you know basically everything about the game, but I just want to say this game is so good. I watched Yeah's video about it and thought I'd check it out since I had already watched a video previously about the game being extremely good, so I downloaded the game from GameJolt and played through the whole entire game. I don't remember how many hours I had on my first run, but it was probably around 10. In case you haven't watched Yeah's video, I'll break down the game very briefly. In Tyke & Sons, you play as Mike, who is the son of Tyke, who is the son of Chipper from Scott Cawthon's old game, Chipper & Sons Lumber Co. The game's concept is very similar to Pizza Sim, splitting the game up into two different games. The first sections are the day sections, where you plant trees, complete tasks, and fight bosses. After the day sections, there's the night sections. These are nothing like the day sections, but instead more like FNAF 4, where you have to run around a room and fend off animatronics that you actually build or find out about during the day sections. It's really cool and very fun. I highly recommend giving it a try. If you don't think you'll enjoy the day sections and you only care about the FNAF parts, think again, because I thought the same way until I played. The day parts are just as fun as the night. I'm kind of losing motivation to come up with good transitions into new sections, so here's the part of the video where I talk about the YouTubers. Not gonna lie, there's not a lot to say about FNAF YouTubers. The only important thing to say is most of them are hit or miss. My personal favorite FNAF YouTuber is Yeah, but you can probably already tell just by looking at the style of this video. Of course, there are some FNAF YouTubers that change FNAF as we know it, but everyone knows those people, and I don't feel like I need to go over them. All you need to know is Markiplier, Fusion Z Gamer, Dawko, and of course MatPat from Game Theory are very important YouTubers when it comes to FNAF. We're almost done, but I want to, of course, talk about the movie. Everyone and their grandma has seen the Five Nights at Freddy's movie at this point. I'm not kidding either. My friend Cole literally went to the theaters and watched the movie with his grandma. What a world we live in. Anyways, I just want to say that I absolutely regret watching the movie in my backyard on a giant projector. Of course I watched it with friends and we had a blast, but seeing videos of people screaming and singing the Living Tombstone FNAF song in theaters with their FNAF cosplays makes me so disappointed I didn't get to do that too. Now my friends and I did scream and sing when the song came on, but when there's only 4 of us compared to an entire theater packed of people, it's a lot less crazy and fun. The last thing I have to say about the movie is that I loved it. Every time I see those videos on YouTube Shorts or whatever about how the FNAF movie was terrible and the I always come back line was cringy, I always get so heated. Like seriously, I couldn't sleep one night because I watched Ty Records video about the FNAF movie where all he did was talk crap about it. I was actually so mad. People who don't like the movie are just edgy losers that wanted the movie to be rated R with blood and guts on every corner of the pizzeria and every scene. Phew, sorry, like I said, it makes me mad. The last thing I want to do before I go is make a tier list of every FNAF game ranked based on how good they are as a whole. Hey guys, so this is the part of the video where I'm like supposed to rank all the FNAF games or whatever, so you know that's what I'm gonna do. So obviously FNAF 1, instant S tier. If there was no FNAF 1, there'd be no FNAF. Next we got FNAF 2. I'll put it in A. Really liked it. It was my favorite FNAF game for a long time, but then after like looking at it from like a critical like standpoint, you like realize a lot of issues with the game. Alright, FNAF 3, C tier. This is a mid game. I know a lot of people disagree with that. I think FNAF 3 was so good and wowee. It's not. I don't know. I just never really liked the game. I thought it was kind of boring and just mid. Next we got FNAF 4, S tier. I love FNAF 4. FNAF 4 is my favorite FNAF game. I don't know why, I just really like the game. It's a lot of fun. Very, very scary, of course, but one of my favorite things about it is how it was specifically created because people didn't like that FNAF 3 wasn't scary. Next we got Sister Location. I actually hate Sister Location. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I just sound like yeah, I literally just sound like I watched Yeah's video about it, but that's not why I hate it. I just hate the game. I always have. Never thought it was interesting. I know there's like the whole, oh, it's different, so you hate it kind of argument, but I never liked it from the start. And I feel like FNAF 4 did the whole changing up the gameplay idea in a way better way than completely throwing the FNAF style gameplay out the window. Did like the animatronics though, so maybe actually I'll raise it up to D tier. Next we have Pizzeria Simulator. I didn't really like this game either. I thought it was also pretty mid. The whole like task-based like night thing isn't a terrible idea or anything. Literally the vents serve zero purpose in the entire game. Anyways, UCN. I'm gonna put UCN in B tier. I mean, like, it's fun and stuff, but like, you know, it's not the best. It's okay. And also there's some pretty crappy jump scares, but yeah, overall it's an okay game. It's not terrible. Anyways, so that's my complete list of my opinion on every FNAF game ranked on a tier list. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. This is the best video. Yeah. Well, that's it. We're finally done. After talking about pretty much everything FNAF, you now know why I love the franchise so much. This is typically the part where I ask you to like and subscribe, but I'm not very good at making an interesting bit where I ask, hey, you should like and subscribe. It really helps me out. So instead of doing that, I'll just say thanks for watching, and now I'm gonna go out and do stuff.